Thanks to our magnificent brains, most of us live out our lives under the delusion that we are in control. But are our brains truly in control? Makes you think, doesn't it? Engrossed in the thrilling cinematic exploits of their ancestors, the freelance police have had no time to ponder these eternally vexing questions. But in mere moments, they and you will be plunged headfirst into these murky philosophical depths when Sam returns from his ill-timed bathroom break to discover they stole Max's brain.
Max? Little buddy? No, 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 no! No!
What happened?
Hey! What happened to Max? Talk!
We don't know! 1 second we were guarding the devil's toy box, then BAM! Out went the lights!
Through a fog of rage, darkness, and raisinets, I tried to remember what Flint Paper told me about interrogating suspects.
Rule number 1, don't let the suspect control the conversation. Get him talking, then surprise him. Interrupt him with a question, or call him a liar, freak him out. And if all else fails, bring little Miss Persuasion out for a stroll.
Actually, I think it was more of a boom, really.
You say the lights went out? That light was joy. And it's getting snuffed out all over the city, dragging us all into a sea of blackness.
Can we go? Your gramifieds are really bringing us down.
And we're in a doomsday cult!
No, keep talking!
Well, that's the last thing we remember until you woke us up and started snarling at us.
Yeah, that's the last thing we remember.
Rule number 2, timing is everything. When you hear the suspect lying, that's when you jump in and accuse him.
Yup, I was totally unconscious.
Now all I can see is his blank, brainless body staring at me, asking me, why?
Okay, you've obviously got some issues to sort out, and we've got an apocalypse to prepare for, so can we go now?
What happened to Max? Talk!
We don't know!
1 second we were guarding the devil's toy box,
then BAM! Out went the lights!
Actually, I think it was more of a boom.
Skip it!
Well, that's the last thing we remember until you woke us up and started snarling at us.
Yeah, that's the last thing we remember. Yup, I was totally unconscious the whole time.
Liar!
All right. I came to before Jebediah, just in time to hear the telltale sounds of a brain being removed from a bunny.
Obadiah, why didn't you do anything?
I was Afraid? Afraid that he'd remove my brain too?
Who? Who took Max's brain?
It was the space gorilla!
Skunk Ape.
Of course! He must have been released from the penal zone when the toy box was stolen.
I'm so sorry.
Not half as sorry as that brain-stealing space ape's gonna be when I catch up with him.
Rule number 3, mole men are easy. To crack the tough nuts, you'll need information to prove your case. Sometimes you gotta ask around to get the dirt on the doers. Now, go get 'em!
I wrote a mental note to thank Flint at Max's funeral and got ready to squeeze some punks. General Skunk Ape. I should have known. That space ape had wanted Max's brain ever since he found out it was special. Now that special brain was gone, and I was cut loose, drifting in the neon current, hoping for a lucky break. Hello, ugly. You're one of Skunk Ape's goons. Where's your boss? What did he do to my little buddy?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunk since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. I'll never forget his final
Unjustly? Don't make me chortle. When you get right down to it, we all deserve to get tossed into the penal zone. You, me, the guy who delivers your deep dish pizzas, all of us, bubbling over with sin and corruption and...
Is there a point to this, or are you just trying to get me depressed?
Sorry, just thinking out loud. Where were we?
As I was saying, since Skunk's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career.
You can't reevaluate your way out of fate, chump. We're all headed for a pine box and a boilerplate eulogy, and you can't change that any more than a tiger can change his pants.
You possess a very depressing worldview.
It comes with the territory when someone cuts out your partner's brain.
Enough about me. You should talk to the rat. Yes, the rat.
Rats? The whole world's full of rats. All of them clawing each other's eyes out to get off this sinking ship called life.
That's quite disturbing and sad. Please stop.
I won't stop until I get the guy who did this to my little buddy! But where's Skunk Ape?
I already told you. I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunk. I'll never forget his final terrified howl. Are you trying to threaten me with that?
Maybe.
You are aware that my ultra-dense space gorilla hide renders me impervious to your puny Earth bullets, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Where were we?
Since Skunk's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career as a sign spinner.
You lie!
No, it's true! I've abandoned a life of violence and conquest for an honest, peaceful job as a sign spinner. See?
Ah, yes, so where were we?
But enough about me. You should talk to the rat. Yes, the rat.
Rat? What rat?
Frankie the rat. He traffics in stolen merchandise in tawdry gambling rings.
Where can I find him?
He hangs out on the corner of Veni and Vidi in the Latin Quarter.
Frankie the Rat. The name left a bad taste on my tongue and an itchy sensation in my boxers. Still, there wasn't a rodent more plugged into the bad wiring in the city. Hey, rat.
Sam, buddy, how's it hanging?
My partner's got a bad case of a missing brain, and someone thinks you might know something about it.
Brain, huh? Well, I did see something unusual and brain-related a little while back.
Spill!
I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fellow was wandering around in circles.
This city's full of lost little lambs, and most of the Bo Peeps are just leading them to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah. You want to hear this story or just try and get me all depressed?
Sorry.
Anyway, I was almost done helping the guy, see? When bam! All of a sudden, this space ape comes barreling down the street, fighting with some other mook. A space ape carrying a brain!
Skunk ape.
I hadn't seen anything that weird.
My partner had a brain once. It wasn't the best brain in the world, and a lot of people said it was chemically imbalanced. But it was his. And now it's gone. Gone like hula hoops and print journalism.
What the heck are you talking about, man?
Sorry, got lost in the moment. Go on.
Like I was saying. So I grabbed the tourist, and we ducked behind a bunch of crates with the other gorilla. We kept our heads down until the fight moved on down the street. And that's all I know about the space ape.
Sure, hide behind your crates and wait for someone else to do something. But one day, the violence in the streets is gonna spill over the gutters and stain your pretty white socks with the blood of the innocents.
Socks? I don't got any socks. I'm a rat.
And don't you forget it.
So now what?
One more time. What do you know about my partner's brain?
It's like I was telling you. I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fellow was wandering around in circles, scaring all the kiddies with...
Where?
Hey, take it easy, big fella. I sent him right over that way, about 2 miles.
Frankie the Rat helping a tourist? It was absurd. Absurd like Max was, back when he had a brain. So imagine my surprise when I found Frankie's tourist wandering around the bad side of town.
Oh! Ah!
You, foreign guy, what's your story?
Ooh, an American police shakedown! How thrilling!
Yeah, it's a real honor. Now, what do you know?
Well, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats.
And Frankie sent you here?
Yeah,
That dirty lion rat.
you know, back in Europe I had...
Another lost soul on the highway of life, forced to get directions from the rats at their feet.
Excuse me? I'm afraid I don't understand your greedy American metaphors and allusions. Ausgewählt? I was about to give him a tip for the help when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords. At least I think it was a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg.
A hard rain's coming, pal. And when it comes, you're gonna wish you were only in a Weltraum-Liebwachsauberkrieg.
Your grimness is depressing, but something must be getting lost in a translation. So, as I was saying, after the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and ibble-skibbled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. You know what else?
It's a strange land, all right. Strange and dark and twisted and...
Please stop! I'm already ibble-skibbled enough.
Sorry.
De nada. Anything else? People in this country are so intense!
The tourists seemed like just another victim circling the drain, but I knew there was more to the story. It was time to circle back and flush out the truth. Frankie, what do you know?
I was given directions to a confused tourist.
To the museum district?
Yeah, poor fellow was wandering around in circles,